And please excuse my rant the other day. I mean, I was feeling it. I was just upset how people were just treating folks. But y'all, I got to give y'all this testimony. I got to give y'all this testimony. Okay. Now, if you've been following me since last year, y'all remember them times and them days that I was getting off of work, like literally 11 o'clock at night, not getting home to my baby. By the time I got home, she was asleep. And out of all of that work that I did, trying to hold it down for this daggone company, they got real petty on the girl and they gave me the boot. They told me you can kick rocks and roll. And before all of that happened, I had knew some things was coming down the pipeline, but I fasted and I prayed and I just asked God for favor. I was praying and asking God, like, to please help me out in this situation because I got a family I'm taking care of. I'm taking care of my daughter and I got my mom, and my father had just passed away. So there was a whole bunch of stuff going on. Whole bunch of stuff going on. Well, y'all already know that when they fired me, I hurried up and got my license as a realtor. That didn't work out. I was out there like a trucker, literally pushing loads for whatever carrier you can imagine, just so I can maintain my household and my bills. And then I was like, you know what, Lord, I can't. And God blessed me with a better position. I remember praying and asking God, I was like, Father, I really just look for a company that really wants somebody like me. And literally, the company that I work for, I love it. They're very nice. They're very genuine. My supervisor is awesome. I know that God sent her my way because she's just like, she knows that God sent me her way. So that's just awesome. So let me tell y'all what happened today. Today, oh no. Today I was on my, that looked like a youngin. Today I was on my way to the grocery store because I was like, let me go get me something to eat instead of me going to Taco Bell or McDonald's. Let me just go to the grocery store. So I go into the grocery store on my lunch break, which I barely take because I usually eat at my desk and I shouldn't be eating some of the stuff I'll be eating, but I usually eat at my desk. And lo and behold, somebody said Mona, and I looked over and there was the assistant that I had hired on my last position who basically stabbed me in the back, did me wrong, threw me under the bus. And the thing that really hurt me about her is that I was very fond of her. Like she was real in a way, but it was the worst mistake. Like I literally was holding my job down, her job down, and everything. And I was trying to train her because I was like, if I leave, you need to know how to do this position on your own. She didn't listen. Talked about me to my supervisor. So I saw her. And again, the thing that really hurt me about her was you're supposed to be a believer, a Christian, talk about the Lord, but live a whole life, a whole different lifestyle. Well, I saw her today and she said, Mona, and I looked and I said, oh, hey, such and such. And she was like, oh my goodness, Mona, since you left, I already knew the news was coming back to me that since I left everything, and I mean, I'm not even exaggerating, you guys, everything fell apart. Everything. To the point where I think they're on their fourth manager. And then it got news to me that the one who let me go, she's quitting. She's quitting. I said, isn't that something? And at first I was so upset because I didn't want to see this person. And they were like, where are you at now? And I was like, oh, I work in the area. Where you work over such and such? She knew the property. I'm like, yep, I'm over there. Oh my gosh, I live in the area. And I'm like, yeah. So I'm listening. And you know what she said out loud in front of everybody in the grocery store? She said, I have to sincerely tell you, I apologize to you. She said out loud in front of everybody, I apologize to you sincerely because what me and you had going on. No, and I sat up there and I listened because I listened to her talk and she said we were going against. It was never me and you going against. It was you. And when I left, you realized how good of a supervisor you had. You realize how good it was. And I was like, at first I was a little bit like, Dad, why did I have to see her? But then I realized, I was talking to my cousin and she said, so, be happy that she did apologize because some people will do you wrong and won't even apologize for what they've done to you. They're dealing with the repercussions of it, but they won't even apologize for what they've done to you. So I want you to peep this out, y'all. Not only were you were demoted, but the whole place is falling apart, and you despise your new supervisors because now you realize the last supervisor you had, you realize like, Dad, I had it going on. You had it really good. I covered for you. I tried to teach you some stuff. You thought you was too big. See, this woman is older than me. Like her oldest son is my age. And see, when people get to the point where they're too old to be taught, they're not going to be taught. But when I left, they looked to her to do everything and she knew nothing. And when I kept telling my supervisor, when I was trying to say, you're all the calling out, showing up late, not doing the work, leaving it for me to do. I'm like, you're supposed to be my assistant, okay? You're supposed to help, and then you getting paid, checks and you paying your bills and you going on vacation, got your boyfriend coming to pick you up. And the whole time I'm not getting home until 11 o'clock at night. When my supervisor, she didn't even realize either. As a supervisor, if you got a running back on your daggone team that's making all of these plays, that's making sure you touchdown for touchdown, what the heck did you think was going to happen when you got rid of them? So when my old supervisor fired me, she thought that she could get my assistant to do what I could do, but they realized nobody knew how to run that daggone building. They had no idea that I was praying and asking God for favor and wisdom the whole time while I was up in that spot. So even me running it, that was all God running it. I had other positions when they would call me and say, how in the world did you push this? And I'd be like, you want me to be real honest with you? Prayer. They had no idea I was on my knees in the closet in a model praying, asking God to show me and lead me how to push this stuff. But see, when they got rid of me, it all failed. And now I'm just like, wow. And she said, she was like, Mona, it was like more stuff she wanted to tell me, but I'm like, I'm going back to my job so I can eat my apple and chill. Like, and but the fact that she said, I apologize. I sincerely apologize. I think it was eating her up the whole time. I think it was eating her up the whole entire time. That you had it real good, and sincerely, I was always kind-hearted. It would be times when this woman was not feeling good, and I would drive an hour away to drop her off home. And I said, well, I'll just go visit my sister because I didn't want her to have to catch a subway and do all this. And multiple times. And then when she sat up there and act like as if in front of my supervisor, and then my supervisor knew her because she used to, when my supervisor was young, my supervisor went to some daycare that she would drop her children off to. My supervisor was young then. And I was like, ain't this something? So my supervisor was kind of like very biased until she saw the work that this woman had no idea how to do. And then everything came back on my supervisor. So and I'm talking about my last supervisor. So now the word gets around that the same one who cut me, who fired me, she's quitting because she can't even do the job. I knew she didn't know what to do. And I said, it's only a matter of time they're going to fire you, because I heard through the grapevine that when all hell broke loose up in there, that they said all fingers point to my supervisor. Like, how could you? Let me tell you something. When they were trying to take away one of my leasing consultants, I begged them not to do it because she was so good. She was like pretty much an assistant to me. I literally had an hour-long conversation of why you should not do it. She's pushing the numbers. No, they didn't want to listen. So when they took her away, I was grinding, still keeping them numbers up, but it was more, it was a load on my back because my assistant was doing what she wanted to do and talking smack. So when I left, the whole place fell apart. And I know it did because I know the work that I was doing. I know the nights that I was staying. I know the time that I was putting in and I wasn't being paid for it. But I say this because the whole time, when I got let go, I didn't see that. I was just like, Father, that's not fair. That's not fair that I put in so much time at this place. I put in so much effort at this place. My father died while I was doing a report. I'm like, I did all of that, and this company literally just was like, you gotta roll. Oh, because you didn't have this with your elevator. But then when they let me go, they was like, oh my gosh. So they went ahead and they hired a manager. The managers couldn't even, I said it out of my mouth. It's going to take you 3 managers just to get it right. To be honest with you, no, it's not even going to take 3 managers because y'all still don't got it right. What they're going to do is eventually they're going to try to sell that building with the improvements that they made, and they're going to go to the next one. Because you got to have a really good team that really knows how to push that. And if you're not going to listen to anybody, y'all going to drown. You're going to drown. So I remember my supervisor at that time, when I asked for a raise, she smugged at me, and they wanted to know what was going on because of a review that I got. Now, the review that I got online, somebody owed like $26,000, and I went to court, and the woman got mad and wrote a review. Now I could clap back now that I don't work there to let her know you should pay your bills on time, but I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, I recently looked at the reviews. Oh, they got people taking photos of roaches. And I said, ooh, these are horrible. These are hideous reviews. Y'all went from a 4, 5 star to basically 3. But you gave me all that headache. And I realized this was nothing but God. God really wanted me to see. Look what happens, Mona. That's why I said vengeance is mine. And I'm like, Lord, you sure do. You sure do. You sure do. Unappreciative. And I remember my supervisor said, I said, well, what would you do if you worked this hard and nobody gave you a raise or anything like that? And I'm going to be very honest with you. When I got in that position, the last guy, he was a white guy. Not that it would matter. But he was making 6 figures in that position. When I got in that position, they lowballed me. They lowballed me, and I was out there working like a freaking slave to keep up with everything you can imagine. And to make matters worse, Virginia was just taking out of my paycheck, so I wasn't even seeing anything. So bottom line, I was asking for a fair pay that you gave him, and that guy, he quit. He quit because he couldn't even do it. And I stepped up to the plate and I was knocking him out, just knocking him out, knocking him out. And evidently the newcomers thought, oh, we can do a better position. They have no idea. You have no idea the skills that I have. Okay. You have no idea. So they came into play. And when they was just like, we believe that, bottom line, when they let me go, literally when they let me go the next day, all hell broke loose. They couldn't even process paychecks because they ain't know how to. They couldn't even get in the system because I kept getting notifications on text messages through my text message that somebody was trying to get in. And they didn't even have access to that for the very longest time. And you know what my old assistant told me? She said I hadn't had a bonus since you processed it in April. Mm. Was I supposed to feel bad for that? I was just like, wow. See? and such is leaving the company. Yeah, I saw it. I get notifications. They looking for regionals. I said, but you got to be out your rabbit mind to work for a company like that. I would tell people in a heartbeat to put your running shoes on. I remember my old maintenance supervisor said, if you start working for the company, you'll miss your life. And I remember cracking up laughing. I seen regionals, property managers quit after 1 month, 2 months when they see how big of a load it is. And to come to find out, one of the properties they acquired, they just lost it to Bozzuto. So that lets you know I knew what I was doing, and y'all didn't know what y'all was doing. Y'all didn't know what y'all was doing. And so when I hear stuff like that, and like, oh, so you, oh man, so you really, yep. And oh, such and such, she quit. I'm like, I'm surprised she's still there. She looked like she been swimming, huh? I remember my old supervisor. She looked so youthful and very poised when she first got started. Shoot, 3 months in, girl looked like she been swimming. Okay, and I already know when I wasn't there, you were drowning. And now you just said, I'm gonna get out of this while I can, because you knew they were about to fire you because you had no control. And that's shame on the company for being greedy, and shame on the company for not even seeing the foundation of things and how things were working, and you tampered with your own numbers. So I know that company is literally trying to get rid of that entire building so they could recuperate, because their so-called Sochi and reviews with all that. When I went on their reviews and I saw them roaches, when I saw them posting, people are so petty. They will post what's going on in their units. There people was that person. She said, I hate roaches. Lord, I hate roaches. She said she went up in there, and when I tell you, she had big roaches on display, and she showed one where it was a whole bunch of roaches. And I'm like, when I was the property manager, we ain't had no roaches. We had them one time, and somebody sent me a photo because it was on the outside of somebody's door. Y'all, I was off that day. I called that resident up and I said, if you don't clean them daggone roaches up. And I said, and I want to do an inspection on your unit. You can't have an A class property, or this was a B class. I say C, borderline B. You can't have a property like that and roaches just playing cards at the table. Girl, bye. Because if one of them things travel down to my office, somebody's gonna get put out. Anywho, sorry y'all. Sorry about that. I can't do roaches. I hate roaches. I hate roaches. I hate roaches. So yeah, so they put on display. They put on display about the roaches. And God was showing you, remember when they try to act real petty about the review because you had to go to court because this woman owed $26,000, and the woman decided to go online and write a bad review about me. Now look at what they're dealing with. They're dealing with live feeds of roaches, okay, infestation. They had no idea. Had no idea, Mona. You was praying to me. I'm like, God, when you you said you will prepare a table before my enemies, and you meant it, Father. Now y'all going through the works and you shaking in your boots, and the whole time I'm grateful that I'm with a different company that respects me, and they're thrilled to have me too. Do you know how that makes you feel? Even it makes me feel really great that my supervisor is really thrilled to have me on. Like she has my back. Like when something don't go wrong, if something goes wrong, she don't throw me under the bus. She be like, what do you mean? Hold on, I'll take care of this right now. She just be on it. And I be like, it makes me happy to get up in the morning, and it makes you want to go further, because when people are looking out for you, you're gonna look out for them. But I learned a valuable lesson. Some people don't know your worth until you're gone. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, they don't know your worth until you're gone. They can sit up here and talk a lot of dog smack about you, but when they get into the next relationship with somebody else and that person dogging the mess out of them, they're going to remember you and be like, well, my wife never treated me like that. She always respected me. She never just ghosted me like this. She was there. She actually wanted me to be around. And because what goes around, whatsoever a man soweth, so shall you reap. So shall you reap. I didn't want to say too much, but the chick, well, my sister, she know that she know where I work at, she know the company I'm at. Because if anybody ever say, well, is she a good candidate? Heck to the no. I would never give her a good referral. Absolutely not. And my old assistant manager, not assistant, but my old manager that was above me, I would never work for her ever. Ever. Even if she said, oh, I know Mona's work. I know Mona. I would never work for her ever again. Off of the GP, you couldn't even keep it real. You saw me working like a daggone dog. You saw me trying. The thing is, when she failed to realize before she got that position, I had a older. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Color don't matter. I had an older white supervisor. He was old, and everybody be like, "Oh, he's slow," but he was very thorough. He was the type of man when he came through, you had to look like you had to look like money. Your shirts had to be tucked in. You better not come to work looking wrinkled. You know what I mean? And then when I would call him and I'd be like, look, I need you to push this down. Okay, send him through. He'll be on the phone with me 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. I'm sending him invoices and he pushing them through. My last supervisor that took his position, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, she shut down. You didn't even hear from her. So I couldn't get nothing done. I'm like, you got on the ship when you knew what the hours were. But she was like, oh no, I'm not doing any of that. And guess what? It fell through because of you. And now you need to take that route out. And that route was you quit. You quit. So I found that so funny. I find it, I don't know. I'm just like, God, you just said, because at first I was like, why did I have to see her? Because God wanted, number one, he wanted her to apologize to me, because it really hurt me again. It hurt me the most because she was a so-called believer, and I really liked her. And for her to have done that, I hired her when my supervisor was like, heck no. My old supervisor, the guy I was telling you about, he was like, don't hire her. And I was like, I want her. I want her on my team. I wanted to give her a chance. And she showed her ghetto behind. And I was like, oh, lesson learned. Sometimes when you try to get people on the ladder, they're not deserving of it. And so I should have. There were other candidates, but I was like, nah, I see potential in her. And I went ahead and I chose her. And at the end of the day, I also feel that God wanted me to be removed from that place anyway, because that workload was just too much. Like, I literally would see my daughter. When I would leave out to go to work, my daughter would be sleeping. And when I come home, she would be sleeping. I literally would see my daughter sleeping. So I'm really grateful to not be there anymore, especially with all the mess. They're about to lose that building. I already know it. They're gonna lose that building. And they can talk about all of the rehabs or whatever they want to do. It don't matter. I have worked in an A-class property, and when I came on board with an A-class property, they couldn't seem to push their numbers. And you know what the reason was? Because you didn't have the right person, you didn't have the right team, you just had all excuses. See, I'm a numbers person. I can sell water to a well. Okay, so when I got on board, we only had one unit to lease, and those units over there, we're talking about 2 bedrooms going for 4,500 off the break. So you have to have the right team for the right building. If you don't, it's gonna fall to shambles. It is. So I say this, like, yeah, like, everybody who did you wrong, when you know that you were genuinely nice to people, that you genuinely, and even, and the crazy part about it was, even with my manager, like this woman that you hire basically said in your face in front of me, she's interviewing for another position at another company. And you're like, oh no, oh no. And I'm thinking to myself, who says that to their supervisor? Who says, yeah, I was intrigued, so I followed up to see what was going on. I'm like, did you not hear that? She's literally interviewing for a whole nother position, which is going to leave you with the whole load. But no, she didn't care. But I'm going to tell you, it came back because now she is leaving. And I just said, whoa, that's so funny. And before I saw the assistant who basically stabbed me in my back, before I saw her today, I already got the news that my old supervisor said Mona was right. Mona was absolutely right. And that was all the gratification I needed to know. But the mere fact you ain't even been there, she's been there about a year now. She just got there in October, and you're already quitting. October of last year, and you're already quitting. See, so that lets you know you didn't know what you was doing, you didn't know what you had, and no regrets. And when I look back, I'm just like, see, because the whole time I remember I was asking God, why am I going through so much while everybody else just chilling, and I did all the work. God was like, keep watching, Mona, watch this. Keep watching, Mona, watch this. And now I'm like, whoa, whoa, you guys are doing horrible over there. Not that I'm laughing, but vengeance is mine, says the Lord. And when he do vengeance, he does it in his own way. That everybody will learn a lesson here. You never mess with the foundation that's holding everything together, okay? And if the person is telling you that they need help with this, you never get rid of, because when it comes to employment, it's hard to find people out here. You never get rid of those that raise the bar, because you get rid of those that raise the bar, you're gonna get trash. You're gonna get your razash. And I've seen it happen. My last company before this last one, my old management company, they sold the property. Those guys did pretty good. They made a $55 million profit. They sold the property, and they tried to retain management but could not. These guys brought in some hood ghetto mess up in there, and it brought the bar all the way down to the point where that company lost management over that particular property. You can't, if you are offering quality service, you can't possibly think that you can bring somebody that's not bringing that quality and everything is going to run smooth, because everybody is used to dealing with certain type of stuff. So prime example, like the place that I work at right now, this is what most people would consider a C-class property. But see, I'm raising the bar. When I first got on there, I'm like, we're not doing paper at the door. Everybody check your emails. Oh, we're also going to be doing wine down Fridays. We're doing cheese platters and wine. Y'all deserve the best too. You got to raise the bar up, and people will say, this is the reason why I live here. Because when things go wrong and I call the maintenance line, come to find out the freaking manager is answering the freaking phone. Like, what's going on? This is what, when you raise the bar, people are, their expectations, then they shouldn't have no problem with paying their rent on time. You shouldn't have a problem with getting bonuses. You know what I mean? When you raise the bar, but when you bring in that ghetto hood stuff, man, and people just like it's anything. But anyway, that was a big lesson learned, a big lesson. When just not, it was just justice was served, should I say? Justice was served today. They always miss you, and it reminds me. I always wondered, does my ex-husband miss me? Does he miss me? Because maybe he don't, maybe he just feels nothing. After seeing this, I realized, yeah, you do, because you'll never be able to find that quality ever. ever. Not even your mama can give you the quality that your wife did. So even though I don't get an apology from him, I know you miss me, because can't nobody do it like I did, and ain't no chick gonna sit up here and follow directions from God when it's pertaining to marriage. So I raised the bar just with that. And like I said, with my last jobs, I prayed. I always asked God for guidance, and I asked him for favor. And I've asked when people would when if it was in God's will, he'll keep me there, or he'll remove me, or remove the other people that's trying to bother me. I have done that. I have prayed some folks away when I realized, oh, this person is in the third. I asked God in a heartbeat, Father, could you please remove them? You said vengeance is mine. I would quote some scriptures. I would pray. Next thing you know, this person has been this, that, and the third. But I was just really, I had that conversation with God, because I was like, Father, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing that? Why everybody else is just chilling when I was working my behind off? What was it all for? What was it for? I remember talking to the Lord about that. And he was just like, just wait, Mona. Just wait. Just wait. April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Wow. November, December. Wow. All of that. Yeah, you couldn't even get that property together because you ain't had a right daggone team. As one thing I learned too, when hiring somebody, is that I look for folks that are hungry and they're willing to work to learn. People that's cocky, or people, because I knew it. Some told me not to even hire her. And the thing about it is, God gave me a dream that me and her was tugging back and forth. Like we were tugging back and forth, and God showed me there's gonna be some friction between you and your assistant. And I was like, oh man, like God showed me that dream. God gave me warning about it. But I went ahead and I was like, I'm gonna give her a chance. When she said, I have to humbly apologize to you, because you was right. You was right. And I'm thinking to myself, and I was trying to teach you, I was trying to teach you stuff. What was that for? Like, why is everybody in a rush to go nowhere? Like I don't get it. Like, why was everybody in a rush just now to go nowhere? Like, we all still at the, y'all, these people out here nuts. I know one thing, y'all better not tap my car. So, so in other words, people don't feel it until you gone. That's why you never bite the heat, that you never bite the hand that feeds you. And you never, and literally, don't ever mistreat people when you know they have done nothing but great and good things for you, because you never know when you're going to see them down the line. I have had, where I'm at right now, I have had folks say they were looking for assistant managers, and they were looking for this and the third. The people that I work with, I would refer none of them. And if I ever came down the pipe with them, I would never ever work with them ever again, ever. And this particular company that I left, I almost left the business because of them. The amount of work that I worked, like, if you got everybody that take on a load, it helps the load light. But when you got only one person doing it, oh man, I remember being on vacation and working overtime and didn't even get paid for it. But that was my stupidity. I had to have the reporting. I was trying to make things right. I was on the phone with my old supervisor, and just the whole business model. Then people learn they need, what they need is AI. They need computers to run that over there. Because managers, you can literally walk away with a whole head full of gray hair. You would have aged damn near 10 years, excuse my mouth, 10 plus years. So, and in other words, I would honestly say, like, what goes around comes around. Watch how you treat people. Watch. That's why I've always been humble. That's why when contractors and folks, when they meet me and they see me, they love working for me. The staff underneath me, when I left, man, I've never heard a grown man cry on the phone the way they were crying. I wish y'all the best with you guys, and I wish y'all the best. But I've never heard folks just crying. Literally, they kept blowing my phone up when I left that I had to put it on silent. They were like, "We need you to come back here," because they don't know what they're doing, you know. But you got to be very careful because that company, I'll never get. They call me. I don't care if they offer me 120. Nope, 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 and nope, nope. Nope, 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 nope. But yeah, so that was something. So today she said, I have to apologize to you. And I'm thinking to myself, when I left, when they let me go at that time, she wasn't even there. So the whole time I've been gone, you didn't apologize through a text or nothing. So right when you see me face to face, you want to apologize. And I just was like, okay. Because we had friction. No, we didn't have friction. You had friction. She said, and your name still circulates all around, and it's like they can't do anything. Yeah, because I raised the bar. None of y'all know what time it is. None of y'all know what time it is. I don't know why everybody in a rush to go nowhere. Like, why y'all in a rush? What's wrong with people these days? Yeah, so should I go over here? I really, honestly, I just want to go home. I don't want to do nothing. I just really want to go home. I think I'm going to go home. I'm just tired and cold right now. But yeah, so yeah, people, the ones that do you wrong, you think like, dang, I guess life must be one. And no, karma comes around. You don't treat people like trash and think like it's not gonna come back around to you. You get what I'm saying? You don't do that. I do not like my van going through this. Why do it just look too tight? I think I can fit in it. Yeah, so but yeah, you guys, she said I just wanna apologize to you because I sincerely and she was very loud in the store. Very loud, because you realize, like, dang, I did Mona wrong, man. Mona she really looked out for the cookout. She always had my back. I made sure you got paid when you called out sick, all that other types of dropping you did. I went above and beyond, and you didn't even respect me as your supervisor. That's why I learned my lesson. You know what I mean? Some people you can't I understand why some supervisors are the way they are, because some people, when they see your kindness, they'll use it as a weakness or think like, oh, she don't know what, you know what I mean. So I thank God I'm not in that situation. I thank God I don't work over at that spot no more. I ain't nothing about that place I miss. Nothing. Oh, wow. She said, Dad, can I fit in this? Oh, jeepers to the creeps. I don't know, Mona. I ain't even going. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Let me back it up. Let me back her. Let me back her up. Cause look, Even the lights are saying we not gonna fit in here. I don't know why Bank of America make things so freaking. I feel like I can. No, Mona, don't take no chances. Cause I'm gonna be mad as heck if I scrape something on this car. That's why I be like, get back! Why are you driving so close? So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna have to walk up to the teller. Hold on, you guys. Yeah, so I'm trying to tell you, people do they regret how they treated you. They do. Cause it was unexpected, and at the same time, at first sometimes I'll be like, oh dad, thanks for looking out. I wasn't paying attention. So so yeah, I say this that people you may not see it now, but people they do regret the things because I know personally I have regretted saying things to people um and I wish I didn't say it and you know what I mean? So so yeah. So I got my apology and I'm grateful that she did apology and I accept that apology because that about her I really I guess she must have knew like I really had I really I just I couldn't believe she of all people, and I really had a bad taste in my mouth about her, but I forgive her. So anyway, people do regret the things that they do to you, and although you may not see it now, and all your efforts and everything that you've done good, and you may feel like, dang, why did this person do this, or why did they do that? Whoop whoop whoop. You may not see it now, but eventually the truth will come out and it'll expose of what happened and why. So that's all I gotta say about that. I'm gonna be on my way home. So I wish y'all a blessed night. And no matter how much people treat you, just always remain humble and don't mistreat them because you don't want to get punished like they got punished by God. Anyway, y'all have a blessed night tonight.